So, I thought I'd make a video today talking a little bit more, actually about, I guess, why I do car videos. Because I know I talk about that some, but if you're new here, this might interest you, or if you're a longtime follower of my stuff, this might interest you. What I like about car videos and like what I like about YouTube in general, because in case you don't know, I'm very critical of YouTube when it comes to manifesting advice. I think that most people who do share manifesting, law of assumption, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, advice on YouTube do it really poorly. And they just kind of butcher these classic teachings without adding anything new to the pot, so to speak. But one reason I've gotten into doing these car videos is they're, for me, very easy to do. They fit my sensibility, which generally speaking is extremely informal, communicative, meaning that I'm able to communicate ideas with people easily. And it's a little bit like, I get to coach and counsel you when I talk to you in the car in this way. It's informal. There's some depth there. Obviously, it's different than if I'm coaching you one-on-one or counseling you one-on-one over Zoom, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot more going on then. But at least you get a taste of that, and hopefully a taste of the depth of the teachings that we're talking about when you watch some of these car videos. So I really like it, and I'm really critical of just the scene, the social media scene, and YouTube is social media. I don't care what other people say. YouTube is social media for sure. But, even though I'm critical of the scene, it is a great way to share these ideas. So, if you are coming from your heart, if you're thinking about this stuff, and you want to share, some of the experiences you've had with people, I really do advocate, using YouTube as a way to do that. It can be fun. It can be enjoyable. I love making these car videos because for the reasons I said, and also they're just so obviously when I write a book, but even when I do like a podcast, it takes a lot more time and effort. And for me, a car video is a very simple way to communicate what I'm trying to say quickly. And I can do it, multiple times a week like that. So take from that what you will. And, if you are relatively new to this channel, understand that what I'm trying to do is convey to you basically the same thing over and over again, right? That's what most people try to do when it comes to this stuff. But there's so many different ways to look at these law of attraction teachings. And too often people kind of put them in a box, they're like, this is the law of assumption. This is the law of attraction. You do it, this technique this way. This is how it's done. I just don't believe any of that. I think it's very malleable, very much an individualized process where it's going to be different for each person, but there's these underlying fundamentals that we can kind of rely on. And when you have somebody or people in general that you can bounce these ideas off of and realize, oh yeah, I am on the right path doing it this way. Or, oh, I could switch it up here. This person does it a little bit differently. And you feel like, you're getting support from hearing these different kind of angles on the same stuff. Very, very helpful. Goes without saying, that's why I advocate people getting coaching when it comes to this stuff. There's this crazy ignorant sentiment in a lot of the law of attraction and specifically the law of assumption community about oh no, don't get coaching, do it yourself, which is just really naive. People who improve their lives, they get help a lot of the time, whether it be through a coach or some kind of you could say outside consultant that comes in, or through a therapist, or from some kind of guru, whatever. They're getting help from different places in order to better themselves. If you're not willing to do that when it comes to these principles, that's fine. This stuff will still work for you. But usually you're able to supercharge the process if you get help. So I advocate, getting help in whatever way you can. I know me, the longer I've been into this stuff, got into LOA stuff like about 10 years ago, the longer I've been into it, the more I'm looking for help. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. I'm always looking for help now. So those are a few things to keep in mind. And I thought I would briefly touch upon something that Cecilia and I talked about the other day. Neville talks about, especially in his later lectures, like wearing the mood. And then we were texting back and forth, and, we were saying, like, wearing the mood is, how do you wear the mood? Neville, as great a teacher as he was, he didn't really tell you how to wear the mood. Maggie was involved in this too, and we were in our friend Stacy, and we were making a joke. He says, wear it like perfume, and I was saying, well, that sounds great. Wear the mood like perfume, do your sats every night and you're wearing the mood as you go through the day. That sounds so beautiful. I can relate to that. But in your day-to-day life, when you got 100 different things going on, is that advice going to always resonate with you? Hopefully it does, but you're going to be wondering where the fuck that perfume is some of the time. You're not going to smell it. This stuff is experiential, and learning how to wear the mood or maintain your vibration, as like Abraham Hicks or, that school of teaching would say, that's the work, is learning how to maintain your state, your vibration, whatever the heck you want to call it, more consistently in the midst of, what is it that Neville said? In the midst of all the disasters of daily life, I think is what Neville once said. Great quote of his. And we just have to utilize whatever we can in order to do that. And that's the learning process. That's why I'm always looking for help. I'm looking for different ways to learn how to wear the mood, to wear what I want to be, or what I could say I already am, as easily as possible, as naturally as possible. So don't limit yourself, and be honest with yourself in regards to, like, what mood am I wearing today? What's my dominant vibration, if you want to use that term, today? Like I say, I want to be, a relaxed, helpful, joyful person. But was I really feeling relaxed, helpful, and joyful today? And, sometimes it takes a while to really suss this out. You might be thinking, I did this well today. And then you look back, if you keep on thinking about it day after day, you might realize, I could have done that differently. No, maybe I wasn't as joyful or helpful, relaxed as I thought I was. This, again, is why I am a big advocate of doing something like the success indicator that W. Clement Stone talks about. But that takes self-observation and honesty with yourself, It takes inner work. And any way you go about these ideas, if you really want to apply them, in my opinion, it's going to take inner work. It's about looking at yourself, how you view yourself, with all of your seeming limitations, all that ugly stuff that perhaps you don't usually want to look at, and looking at it differently. Not just being like, I don't want to do that anymore, and shutting it off. I mean, you can do that. You can cut off the power supply like we talked about in that last video that Richard Dotz was talking about. But when you do that, you have to be honest with yourself to cut off the power supply. You have to take responsibility for your behavior. See, this is what interests me. The external changes we want, those external manifestations, they tend to happen if we take care of this inner stuff more, if we pay more attention to this inner stuff. So I thought that I would make this car video today and explain why I like making car videos and almost do it compulsively. Because it like when I coach somebody or counsel someone, it's meant to help. It helps me too. It helps keep me real with myself. And that realness is what hopefully, the client feels too, and what helps them, because they're able to touch that within themselves too. And that's what we're doing in a small way through these car videos as well. So, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, radicalcounselor.com. Until next time.